Hey everybody, Sive Morten is here with ForexPeaceArmy.com. Let's update our view on the Forex market. So let's go straight forward to the technical picture and what has changed since our last discussion in the weekend. So in general, we were about the right that pullback here has to happen because previously market has more or less normal momentum to the upside. It's not really furious, but more or less significant. We said our strategy here for 1-2 weeks maybe is first getting the pullback up from this support and then consider possible taking the short position at some resistance level. So, but yesterday a situation has changed significantly, and the major factor is this recent candle. This is bullish grabber. This pattern suggests taking out of this top. So whether it will work properly or not, but currently it definitely brings to the risk, to the idea of the selling at some intraday resistance levels when you have this pattern on the back. Second, this is also bullish reversal candle, so you can see market created new lows first and then close above the top of the previous session. This is kind of the reversal with acceleration, which is also has a bullish feature. That's why in the current circumstances, we could go with the first step of our plan, was getting bullish positions for the possible further upward action, but I wouldn't consider any shorts for now, just because of this pattern. In general, this pattern absolutely normal, and actually it's very reasonable in the current situation, because if you recall the picture on a dollar index, on the weekly chart with our free drive pattern, you could see that in fact that free drive has not been completed. So market has to drop somewhere down to 95, maybe 95.40 to complete this free drive, but this hasn't happened. And if you take a look on dollar index, here you also could see the same grabber as on euro currency. Here's the grabber. In this case, it will be of course the bearish. So it also suggests taking out of the stop, and it's really perfect for idea of the big free drive pattern. It stands totally in a row with this pattern. That's what gives it some reliability in the current situation. So if we take a look now on euro currency on lower time frames, first let's take a look at the hourly chart. What has happened? Market has turned up approximately from the level that we have specified. So we talked about 1705, 1716 confidence support area. It has turned up a bit earlier, and that's actually has happened because of my mistake. So I would have to take a look at a bit different ABCD extension. I will show you a bit later in this video on a 15-minute chart to get proper OP to the current situation, while I have taken it right from the top. So, but anyway, this action has started, as we suggested, goes to the upside, and the bottom has taken the shape kind of the not quite regular, but the kind of the double bottom, right? So we have here great looking morning star candlestick pattern as the first double bottom, then more or less gradual valley here as the second bottom. Target of this pattern was already complete right here. Market right now turns to retracement. So if you would like to take the long position, you could keep an eye on these support areas to consider possible taking long position with a further upward action. If grabber on the daily chart will work properly, we probably should get the upward action above the 1920. So market should take it out of this step. This is actually the target of the grabber. We will see later what will happen, but currently we do not consider taking any shorts by far and watching for a possible upward continuation. So now about the ABCD that we have discussed. So to recognize this moment, you have to drop your time frame. So initially we talked about this pattern as we have shown it in the weekend, and OP was standing around 1710, which perfectly agrees with the confidence support. And it's, well, it was a pleasure to see that everything coincides in one point and provides some reliability, some solid background that's actually comfortable to use. But if you drop your time frame to the 15-minute chart, what particular A points we would have had to use? So we have to use this point. Why? Because this is the point where actually downside action starts. So you can see what has happened. The market has jumped, minor pullback, jump again, and only from that point it starts moving lower. So if you plot the A point here instead of on the top, you will see that OP is done here. So market just completed and turns to the upper performance. So this, what the rule of using this kind of the features when they're dealing with the ABCD, you always should use the things that is minimal for particular your targets. If you would like to take the position, it means that you have to take it a bit earlier, but not later. That's why you should use more contracted A points to move OP slightly closer for position taking. The same is correct if you would like to close the position. So you have to out at the points where there's not big competition between the orders, among the orders. So everybody would like to close the position around the OP because everybody see this top, but not everybody knows about this technique and why we use this point. And if you use it, you have less problems for the position closing. So that's the only miss that we have made. That's why it's actually, at the first glance, it seems that markets start upward action a bit earlier. But in general, that's the reason why actually this has happened. But for now, it actually, it's not really a big problem. It's now not brings any disadvantages. So we just, market already stands in some supports. We just need to keep an eye on what will happen in this area and make a decision on the position taking if you'd like to. So invalidation point will be below these lows because actually this is the grabber pattern on the daily chart, and until market stands in its range, its pattern seems valid. But of course, if it start dropping slightly below 1760, 1750 probably, it will be not good sign. So for the normal performance, normal behavior in the market, it should reestablish upward action somewhere in an area, at least I would suggest 1770, 50%, 1760. So these two levels. Maybe even it will happen right from this one. This will be even better. If you are not sure where better to take position, split it in parts. Every time I talk about this, if you are sure with the direction, you know that you would like to trade in long, on the long side of the market, but you do not know where better to take position, just split it. Take 20% at the first fib level. If market show retracement a bit lower, take a bit more, so and so on. So that's probably all that we could say currently. Let's keep watching because the situation with this grabber is really interesting and hopefully it will work properly.